The hallway smelled like coffee, cheap cologne, and that weird mix of textbooks and stress college students just get used to. But in the middle of all that normal noise, something felt off, because laughter, real laughter, is warm. But this laughter was sharp, cold, targeted, and it echoed. Students turned their heads like they were watching a car crash they couldn't look away from. And there in the center of it stood Mr. Hayes, the old cleaner. Gray hair, worn-out uniform, calloused hands, and eyes that carried stories no one cared to ask about. And standing in front of him was Mason Brooks, star athlete, campus golden boy, and someone who believed the world existed to entertain him. Mason held a mop in one hand, Mr. Hayes' mop, and waved it like some kind of joke prop. "Hey guys," he said loudly, making sure everyone was watching. "Look, our janitor here missed a spot. Oh wait, his whole life is a missed spot." Laughter exploded. Someone recorded on their phone. Someone whispered, "Dude, that's messed up," but kept watching. Mr. Hayes didn't yell. He didn't defend himself. He just stared at the mop, then slowly reached out to take it back. Mason yanked it away. "Nah, you gotta earn it, old man." And then, he tossed the mop across the hallway like trash. It clattered on the tile floor and stopped right at the feet of a girl who didn't move, didn't laugh. Just stared, stunned. Mr. Hayes bent down slowly, joints stiff, and picked up the mop with quiet dignity. Silence washed over the hallway, not because people felt guilty, but because somewhere inside they knew they just witnessed something cruel. Mr. Hayes looked at Mason, not angry, just disappointed. Then he said 6 quiet words that hit harder than a punch. "Life has a way of flipping." Then he walked away. No yelling, no threats, just calm. And that scared Mason more than anything. What nobody knew, not the students, not the teachers, not even the principal, was that Mr. Hayes wasn't just a cleaner. Before life forced him into that blue uniform, before the wrinkles, before the exhaustion, he was someone. Someone powerful. Someone who built things. Someone who owned things. But maybe sometimes life strips you down. Not to break you, but to reveal who's really still standing when the world stops applauding. The next morning, students walked onto campus expecting another ordinary day. But the moment they reached the courtyard, confusion spread. A row of luxury black SUVs sat parked outside the administration building. Security guards. Expensive suits. The energy felt serious, different. Mason walked in with his usual ego, heavy swagger, laughing with his friends, until he saw the principal standing stiff, pale, nervous. Next to him stood a man in a sleek dark suit, someone important, and right beside him was Mr. Hayes. But not in his cleaner uniform. He wore a perfectly tailored gray suit, polished shoes, shoulders squared, not invisible, not small. He looked like someone people made room for. And they did. The principal cleared his throat and spoke into a mic, with the kind of voice someone uses when they don't want to screw up. "Students and staff, we have an important announcement." Whispers. Phones recording. Mason swallowing hard for the first time. "Mr. Arthur Hayes has officially acquired Ridgeview College." The hallway erupted, not in laughter, but shock. Someone gasped. Someone whispered, "No way." Mason's face drained of color. The principal continued. "Effective immediately, he is now the owner of this institution." And then, Mr. Hayes stepped forward. Calm, controlled. Powerful, a way that didn't require yelling. His voice was steady. "Yesterday," he said, "I learned more about this school than any report or meeting could have told me." His eyes scanned the crowd, but paused on Mason. Mason looked away. "I saw cruelty disguised as humor. Entitlement disguised as confidence." The room shifted, guilt settling into the air. But I also saw kindness. Students who looked away because they didn't know how to help. Students who wanted to step up, but didn't know if they were allowed. His gaze softened. "Well, now you are." Then he turned fully toward Mason. "Brooks, step forward." Mason froze. His friends nudged him like the way people push someone toward consequences they know are earned. Mason stood in front of him, not cocky anymore, just small. Mr. Hayes didn't raise his voice. He didn't humiliate him. He simply said, "Power is a privilege, not a weapon." Mason's eyes filled, not with innocence, but with the sharp sting of accountability. "So today," Hayes continued, "you learn something everyone eventually learns." He paused. "Respect goes further than status." Then, very quietly, Mr. Hayes surprised everyone. "You're not expelled." Mason blinked, confused, hopeful. "You're reassigned." "To what?" Mason whispered. Mr. Hayes nodded at the janitorial cart. "You'll work beside the staff you mocked, for 30 days. Cleaning the same floors you once threw trash on." Gasps again. But this time approval. Justice. A few students even clapped. Mason's jaw clenched, but he didn't argue. Mr. Hayes finished by saying something that would replay in student conversations for years. "The world doesn't need more people who look powerful. It needs more people who act with kindness." Later that day, Mason pushed the mop slowly across the hallway floor, awkward, humbled, silent. Students walked by, not mocking, but watching, and then something unexpected happened. Ethan, the same student who laughed yesterday but looked guilty, walked over and handed Mason a pair of gloves. "You need these," he said simply. Mason nodded, not as the king of campus, but as someone learning how to be human. And up on the balcony, Mr. Hayes watched, not with pride in revenge, but with hope that maybe, just maybe, change starts in the moments we never planned. Sometimes the most powerful karma isn't punishment, it's transformation. And sometimes, the people we underestimate the most are the ones writing the ending we never saw coming.